Okay, but it's not.
Back to what we were talking
yeah, no,
about.
Fuck it. I'm going right in. This is something that I enjoy talking about. Like this is my shit. Man, I really need to start backlog up again.
Yeah.
I need a place to talk about this shit. It's not even like it's not even that the games industry is bloated. Good God, it is. But it's about the fact that, like, look at Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, do I have to?
80-hour game full of lavish animations and all this shit that in the end still, like, the people even who really like it, like, Abby and everybody at Giant Bomb are talking about it and they're like, yeah, it feels kind of empty at points and not in a good way, and it feels like the online is kind of really bad at this point and all this stuff. It's just like, man, wow, that game is bad, kind of. And like Jeff hates it. Like I looked at footage and went, I'm never playing that. Because fucking like the horse animation is like 7 seconds to get on and off a fucking horse. And I'm like, no, I have like a life to live. I can't do that. I don't have the time to do that. So I'm just not ever going to. God, there's so many fucking black dragons. Leave me alone, please. Oh, they're fighting. That's why. So this is basically a thing in Northrend too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like one of the horde bases in Northrend is constantly under siege by Nerubians, which are the spider people. Yeah, they're all undead spider people. Because the not undead spider people are the good ones, and we work with them. There was supposed to be a huge thing and a giant raid there and everything, and it got cut. There's a really good Bellular documentary on like the cut content from WoW, and the stuff in Wrath seems so cool, and I'm still so sad it got cut. It has to sometimes. Sometimes it just can't make it in. Like there was a lot in Wrath. It's not like we were missing out on content and it felt empty or something. Like there was a shit ton of stuff in Wrath.
Well, that's good then.
Oh yeah, no, Wrath is still the high point of this game.
Oh, good.
With Legion coming in second. But maybe Pandaria second. But like the games industry is just weird. Like everyone talks about how expensive it is to make games and how the price of games hasn't gone up, which absolutely true. I would rather honestly start paying. Yep. Here, I'll take the eggs off my hands. Yep. Thanks. Okay, we need to go. Do stuff. Okay. Yep. Cool. I have some mercenaries. But the thing is, like, we have things that we just don't need in games that would probably cut down on development cost and time.
Like the horse's balls shrinking in cold weather.
Yes.
In Red Dead 2.
It was another horse thing. For some reason, horses are just lavishly done in video games. There's a lot of horse fuckers out there.
I don't want to know about that.
Well, no, because the horse that you get, D-horse in fucking my brain, Metal Gear Solid V, is he has a poop on command button.
I beg your pardon?
Yes.
I
because
hate
fuck
this.
you.
I hate knowing this. I hate
you can,
the
Snake
fact
just
that
says,
this exists.
Do it. And he poops. Like, that is literally a thing just in this game. Somebody had to take the time to code that. Somebody had to model the poop. Somebody had to model the asshole of the fucking horse. All of this time was spent bug testing that thing. Like,
I really hate that exists.
it's really dumb and bad. It's really dumb and bad. And that's the kind of shit that's in video games. It's just like, hey, guess what? We maybe don't need that, and maybe it'll cut down a little bit on your development cost to not, like, I don't need games that look hyper realistic.
Frankly, I personally do not want games that look hyper-realistic. I like new and interesting art styles. I like seeing how artists stylize the world and how different people like envision the world and how creative you can get with that. Hyper-realism, in my opinion, takes away a lot of that creativity because you're trying to replicate something that you've seen in real life rather than make it something like interesting and I don't know. I feel really strongly about like hyper-realism in that case because I feel like there's so many other art styles that you could be exploring, and there's such a huge emphasis put on hyper-realism and how it has to be realistic, and I'm just like, if I wanted to do something hyper-realistic, I'd go outside. I'd go for a goddamn walk.
While I do agree completely, like, I will take Ashen's art style over Dark Souls any day.
Oh, yes.
I also disagree in some ways. Something like Metro, whether it's 2033 or Last Light or Exodus, the life that it has from being its realistic look and its like the amount of detail put into it and stuff is one of the things that makes that game so good. Because it's kind of a bad shooter. Like, Metro doesn't feel good to shoot things in. The guns are cool, but they're cool because they're like cobbled together and they look good because they're like, we took this air pump. Like, somebody actually went and found what the parts of like the pneumatic rifle are in that. Like, somebody went and like, no, that's a pump. This valve is from this thing. Like, somebody like, and you wouldn't get that if you had a stylized version of it. Like, I am again 100% in agreement that I would take a stylized art over realism any day. Like, I prefer the look of Fortnite over PUBG. I will not play either one of those games, but anytime you show me Fortnite, I'll like it a lot more visually than I will PUBG.
Same.
And while Dark Souls 3 is something that I have, how many hundreds of hours in? How many fucking hundreds of hours do I have in Dark Souls 3? Let's take a look really quick. Dark Souls 3, where are you? Dark Souls 3. I thought I clicked it. I have 297 hours in Dark Souls 3.
That's a lot of hours.
It's a third of the hours of you having started.
Hey, shush.
I would take the look of Ashen over Dark Souls 3 any day, even though I love the weird gothic, like, something that Miyazaki, like, tries to bring, because he hated the original design of the Gaping Dragon that was brought by his art team, because something that, and it does really shine in Dark Souls in this way, he wants there to be nobility to everything.
That's
even
so
in its
valid.
corrupt, like, desecrate, like, just decaying state, he wants there to be nobility. And it's there. Like, the Gaping Dragon is this, it's a dragon that's lived so long and been starved for so long that its body mutated to be a giant maw.
Yikes. Wow.
Like, that is what it became. Like, its head just kind of flops around, and like its arms are just kind of vestigial. Like, it's disgusting, but you can see the nobility of that dragon behind that design.
That's fascinating.
And like, I love the look of a lot of the monsters and stuff in Dark Souls, but I'd still take Ashen's art style any day. Like, I would take that any day. And you know what? I bet it's a whole fuck ton cheaper than the, like, super high-res textures of Dark Souls. Like, they found out, like, Dark Souls 1 ran at 720p on everything and kind of, like, looked weirdly good but also shitty. And then when people got in and started modding the PC version, they're like, holy fuck, wait a minute. These textures are like 4K. What the fuck.
What?
Like, the mud textures in Dark Souls 1 are ridiculously high. Like high resolution on that.
That's so
They're
strange.
amazingly detailed, and you can't see any of that detail in the original resolution. Like, that game looks better with mods, not because they're changing out textures or something, but because they're fucking actually making it so the textures can be seen at normal size.
So weird to me.
Dark Souls is such a weird, cobbled together fucking mess. It's so... Oh god, it's so weird. But, like, I would take... And Dark Souls is made cheaply. It's a bad example of what we're talking about with bloat in games.
Yeah.
Because Dark Souls is made super fucking cheaply. At least relative to, like, other games of its ilk. But there's so much weird bloat and stuff within the games industry. Both in, hey, let's spend... How much was the fucking PR budget for... Just came out. Well, the PR budget for Red Dead was something like 200 million.
That's a lot of money.
You don't need that with Red Dead Redemption. People know what the fuck Red Dead Redemption is. Red Dead Redemption 2 is considered by many to be the fucking, like, game of a generation. Or Red Dead Redemption, the first one. It's considered to be, like, the game of a generation by many. People know what the fuck Red Dead Redemption is. You don't need to spend that much money on it. You don't need a Super Bowl ad or whatever the fuck you spent that on.
Who knows?
Sorry, I had to pop my neck. But it's just so weird that, like, Fallout 76 is a perfect example of this, actually. Oh, this is actually a really good part. So we should actually
Let's pay attention to this. Is that literally you?
This is now me. This is now my character. For a moment.
I'm gonna punch that dragon in the face. Like, that just sounds like something you would say.
Yeah, you're not wrong. He's yelling face punch because this is kind of the funny shit that they add. This is the quest I was talking about that's funny.
Oh, good. WoW is a serious game for serious people, folks.
It's never been. It's never been.
I say that with all of the sarcasm I can possibly muster.
If you're not Russian, this game is not serious. Russians are always like the first people to hit world first on shit.
I was a little confused there.
Yeah, no. Russians are always the ones who get fucking world first. It's just a thing. Oh no, stop running that direction. You're gonna die, so my funny. Dude. What the fuck? I died.
Eh?
What can I do for you? Off with you.
Okay.
It was a bright, shiny day. It's night.
Oh. Okay, tell me the story again. Okay, so since I died, I have to just restart completely. It is night. I didn't even think about that.
It is not, in fact, a bright, shiny day.
Okay, so a bunch of them are now dead, so maybe I just... Oh, I've already punched 5 of 5, so I can just run past everything now, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know. I have to run up and punch Deathwing in the face. We're going to get the hot bio orc in a moment.
Yay.
I think he's number 3, because that's the one with the fucking... Unless he might be number 2. I don't know. I don't remember this quest 100%. I know that there's a gnome that makes himself bigger. So gnomes are really dumb in this game. They're really brilliant, but they're really dumb too.
Awesome. Great to know that's the kin that was assigned to me.
So the thing with gnomes, also this might not be possible. I'm losing so much health here. I don't know if this is working since the squish, actually.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, this might actually be broke since the squish.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Yeah, I don't know if this is possible since the squish because you don't have any health. We'll come back to that. That might be actually broken. We'll just go do this quest instead.
Alright.
But anyway, back to talking about video game bloat. Like, okay, let's talk about Fallout 76.
Here we go.
Actually, no, I don't really have much to say that hasn't already been said. It's mostly just Bethesda is weird in that they don't have thousands of people working there. Like, I think Bethesda's team is 300 total across all their studios. Like, across all the Bethesda studios, not across, like, Arcane and the other Arcane studio and id and everything else, but just across Bethesda themselves. I think there's only 300 people there, which seems like a lot, but it's really not when you consider that I think Ubisoft employs like 4,500.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
No, Ubisoft has 13,742 employees.
Holy shit.
I was way off. So Ubisoft has 13,000 employees, so hello Ubisoft. You have a lot of fucking employees. Jesus Christ, I didn't know. Hello, Brian David Gilbert.
We left
closed
an
that-
unraveled up.
I closed that window and found Unraveled under it.
I
Watch it
mean,
later.
not an unpleasant surprise, let's
No,
be real.
it's the only thing on Polygon that I still watch. But they keep a lot of their costs down by just kind of, well, a lot of assets in Fallout 76 are reused from Fallout 4, which is fine. Like, whatever. There's a lot of new assets, but there's also a lot of old assets, and that happens. I'm not gonna fucking deride them for that. That's a video games thing. That's a smart thing to do. You have assets that work, fucking do it. But like the mess around Fallout 76 seems to be the bigger cost. So what's that gonna cost Bethesda in the end? Like, how much money and how many people are gonna get let go?
It certainly costs them a lot of reputation points.
That's what I mean. How many people are gonna get let go because the next game that comes out, people aren't gonna trust,
Which,
and they're not gonna sell well.
Fallout 76, I feel like this should be one for the books, because Fallout 76 has caused, well,
Every
a
week
lot
there's
of
something else.
fallout.
Oh my god, I hate you. Every week there's something new with Fallout. With Fallout 76, there is something new that has gone wrong every single week. It is shocking in just how they fuck up constantly with this game.
And how they are, like, actively screwing their player base in the process. Like, let alone the bag debacle. Let's with the bag debacle, that was enough to ruffle plenty of feathers. And I saw on Twitter, I was just scrolling through and I saw the jacket they were advertising. Every single goddamn comment was, "Oh, they're saying it's leather? Great. We'll buy it and it'll be nylon."
Yeah, leather.
Every
or nylon.
single comment was like, "Oh, it'll be nylon when it ships, don't worry."
I retweeted that with, you have the audacity?
Yeah.
Just, you have the audacity to put out this product? Not even like, you have the audacity to put Fallout 76 on this thing? Like, are you kidding me?
Like,
I would rather see 111 on there, and I hate Fallout 4.
And that was the sentiment that was another sentiment that I saw in a lot of comments on that, was that they would prefer Vault 111, even though they didn't necessarily like Fallout 4, which is saying a lot. It's just, how unaware do you have to be to release something like that when you've completely betrayed your player base, and they have been so vocal about it?
The problem...
How tone deaf do you have to be?
The problem is, and this goes back to bloat, because it all circles back around to that every time, those jackets were designed and probably being produced before 76 even came out. Those jackets, like, after seeing what Giant Bomb had to go through for their fucking hockey jerseys, it took like 2 years to get those made and shipped.
Oh my god.
After seeing that, like, yeah, Bethesda would have a little bit easier time because they'd have like a manufacturer that they already work with and stuff, but obviously that doesn't always happen because they fucking lost the whole thing with like all the shit with the bags. Like, there's a lot of shit there. There's a lot of problems. Also, I don't... What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Use... Oh! I'm supposed to use these things. Okay, let's go fight things.
I am out of range.
There.
Yay!
Completed the request all of a sudden.
Nice.
Oh, god damn it, I'm in combat. But this all goes back to bloat. They probably went ahead and had those things designed before the game came out. They had those things in a production pipeline that they probably paid a contract for beforehand and could not cancel it. They probably had all of this shit going long before all of this happened. So what are they to do? They've paid for the production. They've paid for the promotion of that. Like, all of that stuff's long been paid and done, and contracts have been signed. So it's either they eat that cost and keep a warehouse of those jackets forever, or they roll with the shitty optics of putting that out.
Which, I honestly don't know which would be more damaging.
The thing is, somebody at that company probably sat down and went, this will cost us this much, this will probably cost us this much.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt that that was somebody's job. Literally to sit down and do that. But it's... God, the optics are so bad.
It's real rough. It's real fucking rough. And it's not getting better.
No, it is actively getting worse.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, it's really bad, and
It makes Todd Howard's, like, weird smugness about Fallout 76 that much worse, too.
The fact that, like, the jokes about, well, we know these online games are a bit hard. Like, Todd, no you don't. You really don't. Y'all didn't prepare for this. And it goes, again, back to this bloat thing of how many millions of dollars were spent on this game before anyone knew it was going to be any kind of a success.
The assumption that it would be, and then putting out a super shitty product is just... it's really sad.
It's real bad, and how many people's jobs did it cost?
Hundreds.
No, they only have 300s. They only have 300 people.
Right. Dozens
Literally
then.
couldn't have.
Tens.
It probably only cost in the single digits at this point. Because all those people can get shoved off onto other projects. They can go work on the new Elder Scrolls. They can go work on Starfield if that doesn't get canceled. They can go work on whatever else is in the pipeline for Bethesda. But my point is more how many people's jobs did this cost in the future? Like, how much money did this company not make so they won't hire in the future? Like,
That is definitely concerning.
like, how much... Because as much as we like to say that, well, this is kind of probably going to fuck Bethesda over, it's not. Bethesda's going to be fine. Bethesda will wait a couple years, put out The Elder Scrolls 6 on whatever next-gen hardware is out there, and they will be fine. It will sell millions, it will get Game of the Year again, they will do just fine.
The consumer public has a very short memory.
Yeah. And I don't. I will remember this.
Yeah, I will remember
and
this for sure.
I talked about being worried about Elder Scrolls 6 when Fallout 4 came out. Like, there are tweets from me back then in 2015 going, huh, I'm not looking forward to Test 6 now. That's fucked. And somebody going like, wait, why? I'm like, because Fallout 4 is really bad. Like, it's a bad game, and they should feel bad for what they did with it.
And of course, arguments were heard.
I am out of
Like,
But
people saying no, it's not a bad game. Like,
no, it's bad.
yeah, it's a bad game, folks.
It's a bad game. It's a bad game. It's a bad Fallout game. It's not a bad game. It's a bad Fallout game. But that makes me worried about what they think a Elder Scrolls game is, because Elder Scrolls has been going away from what I like about it for years. Like, the last one that I've really, really loved has been Morrowind, and that was 2004?
That's 15 years.
Is it 2003 or 2004? Maybe.
That's
It was the original Xbox, so it might have been 2002.
that's at least a decade. Minimum.
2002.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because I was thinking it couldn't have been 2004 the more I thought about it, because that was the Xbox One 360 was released in like 2005. So
Morrowind's about ready to graduate high school.
Morrowind is good. Morrowind's really good, and it's weird and it's bad, but it's good. And they got rid of the weird with Oblivion. Like, it went from weird giant mushroom trees and giant, like, silt striders. They're just gigantic fleas you ride on as a taxi. That's cool. And it got rid of that for, like, generic sword and board Western knights and stuff. Like, just stuff I just didn't find nearly as fascinating as the world in Morrowind. Like, Morrowind is an anomaly for Bethesda the more I look at it. It's their only good game.
That's... Ooh. Wow.
Like, I had this conversation with my friend Amy. Morrowind is the only good, because Fallout 3 is not good.
I love Fallout 3. I can't disagree.
It's not a good game. It's a bad rendition of Fallout, because they got the license, but they have no idea what made Fallout. Like, they went the super rah political, like, patriotic stuff with it, but that's not what Fallout ever was. Fallout's literally the opposite. Fallout is like a cautionary tale about patriotism and about the dangers of nationalism and stuff. And they instead went real hard with it.
Somebody commented on Fallout 76 in just that vein as well, is that it was a rather tone-deaf move. You know, blasting, Fallout 76 and blasting, Take Me Home Country Road, like, America fuck yeah kind of shit. And when Fallout in its origins was, hey, shit gets real fucked up when we get too nationalistic, we will destroy ourselves. We will destroy ourselves and the entire world around us. And I think that's part of why, at least for me, thematically, that's where 76 falls flat.
and there's like a lot of like really beautiful nature and everything, which is great. I love pretty skyboxes. I love nature. I love all that gorgeous shit. But where's the fallout?
Oh, also, I love the fact that it's supposed to be like right after the bombs dropped. It's 20 years and everything's green and shit. But in Fallout 3, which is 200 years past that, it's not.
It's an irradiated gray-ass wasteland, and everything is broken and awful. There are barely... the settlements are barely holding together. I mean, look at Megaton. Just look at the town of Megaton. It is disgusting. The water is dirty. There is a fucking bomb in the center of the town, irradiating everyone around it. It is being worshipped by insane people who are just drinking in the radiation. Fallout 3 has a world that is fucked. And then 76 has, like, oh yeah, nuclear war really wasn't that bad. Everything's still gorgeous. There's just way less people.
Well, the thing is, Fallout 76 is correct. Like, Fallout 3 would not look like that 200 years later.
No, you're absolutely right. Nature would have taken back over in that time.
What I'm saying is, they fucked their own canon up.
Which...
With Fallout... apparently Fallout 76 just rewrites all of the canon for Fallout, which they didn't make those original games, y'all. And, like, there's some real issues there. But, God, my main thing is with Fallout 76, and there's a really good discussion of this on Waypoint Radio, actually. Like, Austin Walker has a really good talk about this. It's the imperialism of this vault opening and these people coming out 20 years later and just going, no, we're taking this back by force. When there's... And the way that they got around making this real dark was they killed off all the humans before the vault opens. Like, that's how they got around this whole, like, if they hadn't... everyone's like, where's the NPCs in Fallout 76? I am also like, where's the NPCs in Fallout 76? But also, if they had... It's probably more a design choice in terms of, this looks really bad, because you have a vault opening and a bunch of well-armed, well-fed, extremely, like, well-protected people coming out and forcibly taking back this place from the people who have survived outside for 20 years. And so they probably just went, this looks real bad, and just, like, kill everyone in a plague. A plague suddenly happened, like, 2 days before the vault opened, and so now we're doing this, and so now it's not bad. Now it's the Scorched, because the Scorch plague went through, and oh no, everyone there is scorched. They're not ghouls, they're scorched, so they're mindless. Don't worry, they're not ghouls.
That's
like,
that in itself is also terrifying.
I can't remember which Fallout it is, because forgive me if they both blend together, but it's Fallout 1 or 2. And the thing with Fallout 1 or 2, the first time you run into ghouls, you murder a shit ton of them. And this is something Rob Zacny talks about too, during the same discussion about 76. Like, you murder a fuck ton of these ghouls, and then you get underground and one starts talking to you. And then your realization of, oh no. Oh, they weren't mindless. Oh no. Like, that's the realization the player has.
And that's like an intense moment.
And it's not present in Fallout 3 and 4 and 76. Because Bethesda is bad.
Fallout 3, you don't start off killing ghouls.
Yes, you do.
Or I didn't, rather. The first ghoul I encountered in Fallout 3 was Gob in Megaton, and he's a sweetheart. I love him. I love Gob.
Yeah.
And so ghouls were like immediately human to me.
which is weird when you run into all the ferals in the fucking subway later.
Yeah, there is that.
You, like, almost immediately when you're in the subway on your way to go...
To go see Three Dog?
Yeah, to go see Three Dog and stuff, to DC, like, you immediately run into a shit ton of ghouls.
Yeah.
So... And then you find Underworld. Or what, is it called Underworld? The ghoul thing, the ghoul city with the 2 lesbian ghouls and stuff.
I didn't even get that far.
Oh, it's in DC. You find that and it's cool, but like outside of it is all the feral ghouls that they kicked out. Like they kick out the feral ghouls because they're feral and they're outside. And it's like, oh, that's fucked up. Oh, whoops! I just killed all your like old roommates that had their brains eaten away by, oh, whoops, like shit like that. Like it feels really tone deaf still. Like there's no moment of like, oh god, I didn't know these ghouls were sentient, because the ghouls in Fallout 2 and 1 and 2 were mostly sentient people. They weren't the mindless ferals. They were worshipping weird shit and in a weird cult in one of them, but they weren't the ferals in 3, which is what made it so horrifying when you had the realization in 1 or 2, whichever one it was. I think it was 1. But like that's what makes that realization so horrifying. Not the oh, you kicked out all your roommates and we killed them. Like you knew that things out there would kill them and you kicked them out.
That's the problem.
That's
the problem with 76, especially because you can just drop fucking nukes whenever you want. The horrors of these atrocities have been completely subtracted. The horror, the realization that, oh my god, I am doing something terrible. I have done something unforgivable. That is gone.
Well, I will say that it's not gone anymore because Bethesda broke nuke launching in Fallout 76. So you can't right now.
Oh, thank God. At least there's that. Jesus Christ.
One of the updates just broke launching nukes.
Good. Let it be broken.
But it's like the primary game mechanic and they broke it with an update. That's where we're at. That's what we're doing here.
I'm almost out of outrage, honestly.
Oh, Fallout 76 is so bad.
I'm so
Man,
tired.
we haven't even talked about like the rest of everything else that happened with Fallout, you know, like or video games in general. Like we started on like this whole thing with Activision and EA and what are they gonna do and do they matter anymore? But like, and I could talk forever about Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Like, good God, I could talk for so long about. Oh, I'm about to die. Shit. I'm not paying attention. I'm about to die.
Should have been paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention.
Dang it.
Fuck.
All right, where's my corpse?
It's up here. Canonically, there's a reason why the demon hunters do this. There's a canonical thing for this. But I don't know. Like, the games industry is just so broken. It's so busted, and like even small games though. Like look at shit that's going on with My Time in Portia right now. Or what went on with fucking Mid Boss and everything with fucking Read Only Memories. Like, it's not just these large companies that are fucking over their people. It's small ones too, full of abuse and like manipulation of people who just want to get into this industry that they love. So
because they want to make things.
They want to make a game, and
they have the passion.
The person behind it will abuse that and fucking, It sucks. Everything about it sucks. It all sucks. Like, the My Time in Portia people not paying their fucking voice actors.
Oh my god, is that what happened?
That's
I didn't
the
know
new
about
thing
that.
that's happening. Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
the new
God.
thing with that game that's happening.
I mean, not to mention
Is
the
whole
fact that you can't get
same-sex
gay
marriage
married.
and everything else. Yeah, but the fact that they aren't paying their fucking voice actors.
That's disgusting.
And there's a whole thing going on about that right now. Like this isn't a, like, the abuse and waste of money and resources and, like, bloat is not only in large companies. This is in, like, the amount of abuse that happened at Mid-Boss is atrocious. And I cannot look at I can't look at Read-Only Memories the same anymore.
When people who worked on your game want to distance themselves from said game because of what happened during development, you got a bad fucking scene.
Well, I mean, like, that's like, I want to distance myself from anything that had a shitty thing happen to it. But it's more like when the people who worked on your game are actively talking about, like, hey, don't work for this company, it's really fucking bad to do.
Yeah.
That's really bad, yo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had merchandise that somebody gave me for Read-Only Memories, and I loved that game because I didn't know what had happened, and I can't look at it the same way again.
We didn't know until Mello started talking about it. Like, we had no idea, because why would we? Like, because that shit happens to a bunch of people that are breaking into an industry, and they think that that's just how it is, so they don't... Oh, fuck, that didn't work. So, like, why would they talk about it? Why would they report it? Because that's, I mean, like, that's giving up their shot to be in the industry they want to be in. And that sucks.
Yeah.
Like...
And honestly, that's exactly what happened with, like, Hollywood in the 40s. Like, abuse was completely normalized. And I'm not saying that Hollywood is not abusive anymore, because good lord, it fucking is. But I don't know, it reminds me of that.
Yeah,
Like,
well, there's a lot oh god, I'm almost dead again. No, I almost had it that time. There's a lot in video games themselves now that it seems like those early... fuck it, I'm just gonna take the hit and we're just gonna end this episode. I need to repair anyway, so we're gonna wait 10 minutes and that's gonna be that. It seems like early, like, industry, like,
quote
media
unquote golden age of
industries.
Hollywood.
Well, no, it seems like early media industries, because it's the same thing with music. It's the same thing with, like, every media industry has gone through the same thing.
And we don't learn.
No, of course not.
We don't fucking learn.
But the thing is, the people at the top of these things come from those industries.
They know
The
what...
people making... The producers from a shitty movie company go on to be the executive producer or whatever at a fucking... at some other company, or at a video game company or something. Like, that's what's going on here. Is... And those people are continuing to get these jobs because they're the ones with producer experience, so why wouldn't they?
And money.
It's not even the money. Like, they're getting hired by the board of directors from EA to run this game for one thing, and they don't know how to actually run the fucking game because they've never produced a game before. But hey, they have a bunch of producer credits for movies and music videos and shit, so why wouldn't they be able to produce a game? But they have no idea the pipeline that it takes to do that. And so they work it like they would a movie, but it doesn't work. Which is why you see all these weird, massive production budgets. Not in combat, fuckers. You know what I really hate? Not being a fucking hunter. Because I could just feign death. I just want to put on my boots. Let me put on these new boots. They're 22% better than my last ones. But anyway, video games is video games. Pretzels is the same. Nintendo has made the same game for 45 fucking years and nobody cares. I don't know. Video games.
Video games, folks.
Anyway, I'm gonna not do this because I got 8 minutes to wait anyway. So we'll see you later. Have a nice night, everybody.
Sleep tight.